Next thought, a video that makes you see this world differently. How's it going, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to Next Thought. In this video, I'm going to talk about the stock investment strategies in 2020. As we know, the stock market right now are really volatile and there are a lot of things happening in 2020. On the other hand, due to the pandemic situation, the stock market is really unpredictable. In the meantime, Nasdaq index recently had a new record high. So how are we going to invest in 2020? And that is the question. Here, I would like to share with you my 3 suggestions, and hopefully this can help you gain a great rate of return in the long run. My first suggestion is buy stock in a fair price. As we know, a lot of us might always thinking that the stock price can drop even further. So for example, let's say a stock at current price of $50 per share. We are telling ourselves that we will purchase this stock when it drops to $40. However, when a stock really drops to $40, we are thinking, probably I will buy it when it drops to $30 per share. However, as we know, there is never ever a bottom, since every day's price could be lower in comparison to yesterday's price. Therefore, what we're going to do is, as long as we find a fair value, we think this value is fair enough, then we just purchase it. So how can we determine whether this value is fair or not? I have already previously made 2 videos talking about 2 kind of models. The first is PE model and the second is cash flow model. So these 2 models can help you to determine what kind of the internal value or intrinsic value for the company is, and by giving a discount rate, you are able to find your ideal price for the stock. Therefore, once it drops to your ideal price range, you just purchase it. So my recommendation for the first purchasement is you don't have to put all your money in it, since for each stock it might drop. However, you should not just spend too little money in the stock, since the stock might rise in the future and you don't have any chance to purchase it again. Therefore, my personal advice is you just put a comfortable money into the stock in the first purchase. If it drops further, you just keep more money put in it. However, if it keeps rising in the future, you won't feel regret, since you have put some comfortable money in it and you will get a good rate of return. My second suggestion is you should always purchase those stocks with potential. As we know, in 2020 it's really fluctuating and a lot of stock prices are quite volatile. Therefore, there are a lot of great opportunities for you to purchase some stocks. Since I'm right now in my early 20s, I still got a very long term to go in the future. Therefore, I really need to focus on those stocks with great potential, since even though for those stocks, they might be, skyrocketing in the near future, such as air company stocks and also cruise line stocks, they may not be that competitive in the long run, like 10 or 20 years later. These stocks are really fluctuating these days due to those policies and news. So from policy point of view, some people said that 70% of their business will be performed normal in July and August. Therefore, a lot of people are just so happy, they can't wait to put their money in this kind of airline stocks. And therefore, just in last week, the airline stocks just skyrocketing like a crazy bull. However, if you think like 10 or 20 years later, just from the same point of view as Warren Buffett, the reason why he sold all his airline stocks is because the airline stocks are not that competitive in the future, right? This is just a market and there are a lot of competitors here. And you don't have some kind of unique idea or business model compared to competitors. Therefore, personally, I wouldn't put my money into this kind of stocks, even though the price are looking so attractive. Here are some fields that I think are quite potential in the future. The first, of course, is the electric cars. Electric cars are really the clean energy, and I believe that can change the future definitely. And the second is clean energy, such as solar energy. And third part is internet. And in internet, I'm really focusing on gaming. I believe after this pandemic, people's life will change, a lot of things will move online. Right now, there are a lot of people, especially for pupils, they're so passionate to games. And I believe the gaming market will definitely increase in the future. Therefore, I believe gaming and internet is a great potential. And fourth point is 5G. Though 5G's concept has already been discussed in 2018, 5G is not that coming alive. However, in 2020, 5G is really on the port to depart, since a lot of manufacturers for smartphones, they are having this 5G smartphones already. And especially for certain companies in China, they are so passionate that they can develop a lot of 5G cell phones. Therefore, in my opinion, 5G is definitely a portion or an area that you have to focus on, since I believe in the near future, very near, 5G will just take off like a crazy bull. My third suggestion is you have to hold the stocks for a long term. Just as Warren Buffett said, if you're not planning to hold the stock for the next 5 years, you better not buy it. So one of the most successful investments for Warren Buffett or Berkshire Hathaway is the investment in Coca-Cola. So Berkshire Hathaway purchased Coca-Cola stocks back in the 1980s. So for this entire 40 years, they haven't even sold out one stock of Coca-Cola. And it turns out to be a really great investment for Warren Buffett and also Berkshire Hathaway. I know for a lot of people, including me, I'm just so itching, So here's one of my examples. I previously owned 40 shares of Tesla stocks at an average price around $220. However, I sold all of them out when it reached $300, since I believe in the near term it will just drop. And I believe after it drops, I will pick up another 40, even 50 Tesla stocks, and that can make me some profit. However, this does not seem to be a wise decision at the point of today, since Tesla stock has almost reached $1,000 per share. And just after I sold the stocks at around $300, the price just like skyrocketing, and I can't just wait for another entry point for me to retake the stock. I know it's a little bit pity, but personally I learned a lot of things from it, and I will keep this lesson in my mind, and I believe it will be beneficial to me in the future. So in this video, I just list down several points that I think might be helpful for your investment strategy. Therefore, in the next video, I'm going to share my personal stock portfolio and to see how I implement these strategies in my investments. Thank you very much for watching, and see you in the next video.